What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Pleeka podcast. I'm Jerome.
And I'm Nick.
And today we're discussing Thor The Dark World. I believe this is our first movie to have like a second title card with it.
You and Odin, dead at my feet.
Because so far this has been Iron Man, Iron Man 2, Captain America, Black Panther.
You don't consider 2 and 3?
No. Even though they spelled 3 as T-H-R-E.
That annoyed me, by the way.
Me too, a little bit. But then at the same time, I liked it. I do want to point out, we're recording audio this time through our microphones. Last episode, did the whole podcast, then went and recorded another video, and I noticed getting that other video ready that it was on the wrong setting. And then because I noticed that it was on the wrong setting, I didn't hit record on the audio for that video. So we played for an hour and a half for nothing for that. And then we made a quiz time video. So if you want to see that, go check it out.
Who won that?
I did. No, I don't know. You have to find out. Watch the video and find out. Ooh.
Wow. No one gives a fuck.
But as we do every week, we got some IMDb trivia. I believe only one of which is positive. The rest is very negative against the movie.
Yeah, I could see that.
Alan Taylor, who is the director of the film, was very unhappy with how the movie turned out. Although he had received full creative freedom while making the movie and was shot, he stated that it turned it into a completely different movie in post-production.
It'd be cool to know what that really means.
Yeah, it'd be cool to know what his version of the film was.
Yeah. I mean, what if he really liked the first part and not the second part?
Yeah, or what if it was just on set filming it, it felt like it was being something different, but it really turned. You know what I mean?
Right.
Kenneth Branagh, the director of the last Thor.
Right. You should just not say his name.
It's hard when I'm talking about him. Try to talk about Macaulay Culkin and not say Macaulay Culkin.
Hey, you know that kid from Home Alone?
Okay, touche. Hey, you know that kid from Home Alone? No. Kenneth Branagh, whatever.
Oh my God.
Turned down directing this film as he felt locked to the release date wouldn't give him enough time to pre-production, write, and get the movie good. So he's
really?
So he's like, no, you guys are rushing this too much. I'm not doing it.
I think
Which
he was right.
maybe is an insight to how Alan Taylor felt.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Shows why he's a good director.
But it's funny hearing that now, because now it seems like Marvel takes their time and does it real well, and that's kind of what people say about the DC movies is oh, they just rush it and it's shit, and that's why other directors are dropping out of those movies.
Oh yeah.
So it's funny to hear in the early stages of Marvel they did.
Is
the
it
same
early
thing.
though? We're 9 movies in.
Well, technically we're only 8 movies in because we did Black Panther.
Oh.
And maybe only
me.
7 movies in because of Incredible Hulk. You know. If you think about it like that.
No, they had fucking Tony Stark in there.
Yeah.
I counted.
All
right, we're 8 movies in, and we skipped ahead 9 movies or some shit.
But where was I? Oh yeah, Idris Elba has openly said that he disliked working on this film, and because of all the reshoots and all the shit that went on, he described filming this movie as torture.
You know, it's funny. I remember because you kind of told me about that before.
Yeah.
Before I watched it. He's not in it that much.
He's not in any of them. I mean, granted, like we say every week, we haven't seen Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah.
But he isn't in it that much, so I can't.
He jumps on that ship and stabs it, and then they look in his eyes.
Unless they...
That's it.
They cut out his reshoots or cut out a lot of his parts of the film.
Well, that would be fucking annoying no matter who you are.
Yeah.
Imagine you go reshoot some, and they're like, we're not going to use it.
Yeah, we're going to do some reshoots of this podcast.
Yeah, we're not going to use it.
This part I found really interesting. The prologue was directed by Tim Miller, the director of Deadpool.
Oh, yeah.
Which his studio is the one that did all the animation
Not the
stuff.
director of Deadpool 2.
Yeah, no. But he is doing a Terminator film, which would be probably bad.
I was over Terminator 4, Terminator.
But his studio does the big trailers and cinematic stuff for all the Arkham Origin games, all the Arkham games of Batman.
Oh, yeah.
Which you can kind of see that style in this. But I really did like that opening, of the Dark Elf and all that. Which is a funny transition from that, because you were telling me watching that part, you felt like it was Lord of the Rings or Game of Thrones.
It was like Lord of the Rings in space or something.
Yeah,
which I'm not into.
I read the Prelude comic, and if you thought it was bad hearing it, try reading that shit. It was very hard to read the Prelude comic, but I actually really liked the Prelude comic. It's kind of cool. This one connects it from Thor 1 through Avengers to this movie.
Oh, yeah.
There's even a Game of Thrones joke that we'll get to later from Tony Stark talking to Thor, which is really funny.
Oh, really?
So, but the comic starts out in all the 9 realms because of the Rainbow Bridge was destroyed. You know, that shows like each realm. Thor is actually defending them in the beginning of this movie.
Mm-hmm.
They're all sensing something's wrong because it takes place literally right after it blows up or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So that's all messed up, and then you see, Thor's mom, Loki's mom. She's getting, she has those little like they showed more in this movie. She can connect to people kind of, and like she senses that Loki's out there, and all of a sudden she appears in front of him, like he can teleport places too.
Mm.
She teleports in front of him as he has that staff, and he's talking to the bad guys of Avengers 1. And he's like, Mom, it's not a good time. Wow. So then she's like, oh, my God, Loki's alive. And everyone's like, kind of like, no, you're just wishing he was alive.
Oh, really?
But then I forget how. They end up finding out that, no, she's telling the truth, and he's going after the Tesseract and all that. So she does that. And then meanwhile, Jane goes back to New Mexico. Whoops, Damien has smacked the mic. Goes back to New Mexico, that exact landing site from Thor 1.
Mm-hmm.
And she has all this equipment set up, and she's trying to connect to Thor, and she actually connects to bring down in the portal. But because the Rainbow Bridge isn't there, like, connects and then unconnects. So that's kind of her whole plot. She's trying to connect to Thor and whining about it.
Yeah, did you think she was even, except for that shit going in her, was she even necessary in the movie?
None of the Earth people were necessary in this movie, I don't think. Really, none. Like, you didn't have to have them involved at all, really.
Well, they had to go to London. To
other than that end bit with the London and throwing the teleport shit,
yeah,
which you could have really done with anything.
Yeah, I mean, that makes
have
sense of why they were doing it there.
Yeah. But a lot of their stuff was kind of pointless.
Yeah, it just happens to be where they're researching.
Yeah.
Is where, yeah.
But so she's trying to connect to Thor and all that, and then Odin, because they find out that Loki is alive, but Odin shows Thor they have this big machine that they can use instead of the Rainbow Bridge to get to other Earths and all that shit. Except they say that it can like kill you or whatever. Obviously, it doesn't kill Thor. So he goes, and that's how he travels into Avengers 1. When he comes down, they hear the lightning and all that. So he travels through that way. And the first comic actually ends with Thor right as he tackles Loki in the woods and all that.
Oh.
So then part 2 opens with Heimdall, and he's talking to that girlfriend of Thor. They're up in like Heimdall's little place.
Yeah.
And they're kind of talking about the events of Avengers, and she's asking if Thor's alive, and he's like, yes, he found Loki, and he's very pissed and all that. Which was kind of interesting seeing Avengers through like Heimdall's eyes, because he's always like, oh, I can see your friend Jane, she's okay. Yeah. We don't really get to see much.
Right.
So it was pretty neat with that. But then it cuts to Avengers, and Tony Stark's flying next to Thor, and he's like, have you ever seen that show Game of Thrones? And Thor's like, what? He's like, it's a lot like you, except instead of a magical hammer, they have dragons and sex.
Wow. That's kind of true.
And Thor's like, how do you have time to joke in a time like this? Like, basically tells him, like, we're at war, your people are dying, and you're talking about games? He's like, well, actually, it's a TV show. So then Thor's like, whatever, and flies away. And then Tony Stark's like, what about Mad Men?
Wow.
That was a really funny part in the comic.
That's pretty funny.
So then it cuts to Jane. She's at a S.H.I.E.L.D. headquarters, which Agent Coulson called her with some other person. Like, they brought her down there. He didn't get to meet her because he was too busy dying in Avengers.
Right.
But then while she's there, Darcy, I think is the girl's name.
Yeah.
She keeps bringing up on a laptop while Jane's arguing with all the S.H.I.E.L.D. people, like trying to get out of there and all this shit. She's like, Thor! And she's like, what? And Jane turns around and they see on the laptop the events of Avengers, because remember she says in this movie, you were in New York.
Yeah.
So she saw that there, which is kind of neat. And then, you know, the whole opening of this movie is Loki being banished? Like, he talks to Odin and all. They actually took that from the comic. That whole scene is in the comic, just a little longer.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so that happened. I read that in the tribute too, but I was like, I'm going to read the comic anyway, so I'll just bring it up then.
Right.
But I guess the directors and the writers and all that liked that scene so much in the comic that, like, oh, we're just actually going to put that in the movie.
Well, I think it needed to be there.
Yeah, it was kind of cool. So then Loki gets banished, and then Thor and Heimdall use the Tesseract to fix the Bifrost of the Rainbow Bridge, which I thought was interesting. They showed that in this because all of a sudden it was just back in this movie. They didn't really give you an explanation. They might have said like an offhanded thing, but I didn't catch it. And then Thor says he's going to protect the 9 realms, and that's what we pick up in this movie with him fighting.
And then all hell breaks loose with a fucking space. What was he? Gremlin? No, what was he?
With what?
What's the bad guy's name in this movie?
Oh, there's something. Let me see. I have it in my notes.
Dark Rat? No,
his group is the Dark Elf, but I kept calling him that the whole time. But his name is...
Dark Rat was wrong.
Malekith was his name.
It's like someone with a speech impediment.
Yeah, they kept saying it, and I was like, what the I couldn't tell what they were saying. 'Cause everyone's like, Malekith. And I was like, what?
It's like doing a podcast.
They said it. They kept saying it so weird, so then I looked it up, and I was like, oh, Malekith. Why can't they just, like, enunciate a little bit.
Wow.
Which,
hey, pot, it's the kettle.
and it's hard for me to enunciate. I got a goddamn sore in my tongue, and I have like almost like a little lisp.
You know what I say?
I quit sucking too much dick.
No, so much, not too much.
Whatever. So we've been doing it like this, where we talk about our best actor, and then we get into the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Who was your favorite actor of this film?
Well, and see, I gave this some thought. No one really stuck out.
Yeah,
to me.
that's the way I was thinking. No one was great in this movie, really.
But I'd give it to Loki, I guess.
You fucking bitch.
Is that who you picked?
It's the same thing I picked. Yeah.
Well, it was either between Loki or Thor.
Yeah, but I don't want. I picked Thor last time, I think, so I didn't want to repick the same one. And we've been trying.
But it was that's the only time I enjoyed the film was when the two of them were in it.
Those are my favorite parts too. Like I guess we could do our favorite scenes here too. One of my favorite scenes is when they're on that ship together and they're leaving and they're having
When he turns into
Obi-Wan,
Captain America.
Anakin, and all that, and like they're going, and also like every scene of them together is great.
Yeah, I mean Loki was really funny and like a smart ass and and you don't trust him, but you want to.
And then it's funny too because like he's on Thor's side, but then again like he wants his own thing too.
Yeah, he's like on his own side, but he's helping Thor because of his mom.
Yeah, which I didn't realize until this movie and reading the comic how much like his mom is totally on his side. Like she'll do really anything for him. Like she's all nice to him in the room. Like in the comic, she's like, "Oh, it's okay. Like just be nice to your father and he'll be good to you." And then Odin just banishes him and she's like, "You're not the son I know anymore." But like his mom's a lot on his side. even in the comic, I didn't mention this.
I mean, she's a mom. She sees the good in him.
Well, and
Odin,
I
mean, he is an evil fuck.
Odin says this in the comic. I think her name's Frigga, something like Frida, something like that. But he's like she hasn't caught on to you. I forget how he worded it, but basically saying like she's always gonna try to change you for better.
Yeah.
He's like, and I'm on your bullshit. You're not who I thought you were.
Right.
So you're banished for eternity. But we all see how that turned out. Better be careful out here, mate. There's rattlesnakes all over the place. They'll get you.
I feel like you're in between two accents.
That's my 7th monster.
Are you today?
Yeah.
Oh my god, really?
Don't tell anybody.
You just told the whole world.
That's not on, is it?
Yeah. But alright, so Thor The Dark World, directed by Alan Taylor. The budget was $170 million, and it made $644.6 million in the box office.
It's not bad, considering everybody fucking
considering
hates
how shitty the movie is, that's pretty good.
See, and
you liked it more.
I liked it.
He liked it a lot more. I guess we could bring it up right now because we have different opinions on it. He ranked the movie, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So you ranked it, wait, what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, yeah, you ranked it, 7. I got real confused there for a second.
If
So he ranked
we
it
done 9 and there's only 2.
Yeah, that's what I got confused on. So he's ranked it 7th in his film, and I ranked it 9th.
I thought of it this way. Someone says, all right, you have to watch a movie. It's either going to be The Incredible Hulk or Thor 2. I'm watching Thor 2.
See, I think I would pick Hulk.
Do you remember it?
Yeah, but I honestly think I would rather watch Incredible Hulk than watch this movie.
And then okay, would you rather watch Thor 2 or Iron Man 3?
And again, I would pick Iron Man 3.
I would pick Thor 2.
Would you rather watch Avengers or Thor 2?
That's a close one. No, Avengers. But
yeah,
because for me, the movie starts off slow, and it's like Lord of the Rings in space.
it's weird because like usually that stuff doesn't bother me as much when the movies are like that because I kind of like that sci-fi stuff. But I don't know I don't know what it was in this. Like, I think it's kind of what it was like when I was younger and you guys wanted me to watch Game of Thrones, and I just couldn't understand them, so I didn't give a shit. Except in this, it's almost worse in a way where they're just like the way they're talking. It's like I just don't really give a shit. So and from memory, I know it has really nothing to do with the movie's plot that well.
Yeah, see, and I didn't remember any of this movie from watching. Cause I watched it one time, didn't like it, was totally disappointed, and I've never watched it again.
Until now. Now we own it on Blu-ray.
And I rented it on iTunes.
Yeah, you spent so much. You gave them so much money for this movie. Redbox when we got it years ago. Now on Blu-ray, and now from Amazon.
So like $10.
Probably.
I mean, come on.
Yeah.
But so you watched it first and said,
Yeah, I watched it while you were taking a little nip in the bathroom. In the bathroom. In your bedroom.
Did not take a nip in the bathroom. So, and you were like, oh, God, I really hated that movie. And I was like, really? It was worse than Incredible Hulk? And you're like, yep. And even Incredible Hulk, and I said this before, a bad Marvel movie
It's still
is still a pretty good movie.
Yeah. Well, like, this isn't a terrible movie. It's the worst of the Marvel ones for me, I believe. But, like, it still has some really good moments in it.
So, and then, like I said, I didn't really remember it. And I saw the beginning. It's like, all right, I'm watching this movie. Hey, it's not 2 hours long. That's a plus.
Yeah, I think it's the shortest we've gotten so
So,
far.
and then the whole thing with Jane, I didn't really like.
Yeah, a lot of her scenes were kind of boring until when she got to Asgard. I kind of liked it.
You know, I used to really like her as an actress, and I just think I'm over her.
I can kind of see that.
So-
Although I've heard that Annihilation movie with her in it is really good.
Like, no, not seeing it.
Like it looks weird and like kind of dumb to me, but I've only heard good things about it.
Unless she's rapping, I don't want to see it.
What if she raps in the end credits?
Well,
You
then
gotta
I'll
watch the whole movie to get to there.
wait for it to come out on Blu-ray and just fucking hit chapter. But so I didn't think it was necessary. I love Kat Dennings. She wasn't really that funny in this one.
Yeah, she was part of the movie that was trying way too hard.
Yeah, she was like, it was like a bad episode of Broke Girls.
You know the movie's trying hard when they show like 3 times in the movie I don't know his full name, the dad Eric in this film, the dad Skarsgård.
Yeah.
Him naked at that with all those statues and it's on the news. I was like, okay, you're pushing it. That's not funny.
It was kind of funny the first time. He's just running
No.
around naked. Some old guy's naked is funny
Why don't you get naked for the podcast?
because it's not that funny. Wow. I don't know. You really want to see my dong? I mean, kind of. Is that what you're getting at?
I didn't think about it until now, but I just asked my father to get naked in front of me.
Man, it's not the first time.
Yeah, it won't be the last either.
So, God, you're weird. What the fuck was I saying before you started talking about my balls?
You were talking about old guys being naked's funny.
Oh, yeah. See?
No,
And then you started laughing.
you were talking about Kat Dennings and you love her, but she's not funny in this.
She wasn't funny. Like I said, it was a bad episode of Two Broke Girls. It was just
Yeah.
like, what the fuck? Not that there's good episodes of Two Broke Girls, but I mean,
There's okay episodes.
sometimes she's funny.
See, I think I actually liked her better in Thor 1 because she was only in a couple scenes, and the scenes she wasn't was funny.
Yeah, and
But
this
she
one,
was in this
they were like,
a
hey,
lot.
she was good in the first one. Let's give her a couple more lines. And we're like, I don't know if that's such a good idea.
Yeah.
But,
There's probably a reason they didn't put any of them in Thor Ragnarok.
and then that big fucking bad guy comes and beats the shit out of everybody. But it's still, I was just like, well, it's not horrible. But then once Loki and Thor got together and like Loki's antagonizing him.
I like that, but you gotta remember it took like an hour and 15 to 20 minutes to get to that point.
No, I didn't take that long.
It took
just felt
so
like
long. That was the last act of the movie was them.
But
together.
it just, I mean, yeah, but so I mean, they have to get together, then they have to fight the bad guy, and then Thor comes down. Even when they go to the Upside Down, like all that happened, and it totally reminded me of Stranger Things. She fucking reaches in there, some oozy shit gets on her. She fucking flips into another universe.
Talking about Natalie Portman when she gets the red gem on her. You know, I don't think I ever.
I
Realized.
saw
And
Will.
I think it's because we've only seen this movie once. I didn't realize that this movie had the red gem for like the Infinity Gauntlet and all that. Because
Yeah,
like, you
I
see that in the
had no idea.
post-credit scene. I had no memory of that. So at the end, I was like, oh, that was a gem. I thought it was like red goo.
Yeah, I thought it was the shit from Stranger Things.
But as we start getting into my notes, I put the opening scene with the Asgards and the Dark Elf was pretty cool.
Asgard.
You better not start that again. So yeah, we talked about that already. That was pretty cool. Then Odin banishes Loki to the dungeon and says Thor will still be king.
It's a nice dungeon. I mean, as dungeons
Yeah, that was
go.
cool. I mean, there was like a TV shit in there. Like it was a
Yeah.
pretty nice little room. I did like the scene at the end, towards the end too, when Loki like has tricks and has it like looking nice, and then Thor's like, enough with the tricks, and it goes to being destroyed
Because you can't fool him anymore.
Yeah. And then this is funny. This is my third note. I think they tried way too hard to make this movie funny.
That's your third note?
Yeah.
See, like, do you remember at the end when she gets the phone call, which I was like, wow, that's good service.
Oh yeah.
So I was like, oh, so this is where all the things are going. Then she found the keys. And
yeah. And then Thor's like, where are all those shoes here?
I fucking got the giggles. He's funny. I can't wait to watch Thor 3 now.
Yeah, he is
Or
Ragnarok. Which I did forget to mention this too. In the comic, they mentioned a couple times that like they're protecting the nine realms to stop Ragnarok from happening because I think the destruction of Asgard and all that.
I don't know what Ragnarok is.
Well, that's what I'm explaining.
Oh.
I believe, I could be wrong. Someone might comment or not. I don't care. But and tell me I'm wrong. But I believe it's the destruction of Asgard and stuff like that. That's what Ragnarok is. Which you can kind of see from the trailer with Hela blowing.
I thought it was like
Asgard
a
and all.
rap group from Asgard.
Oh, that'd be Thor's rap group.
Yeah.
That'd be cool. But so what's my next note? Oh yeah, Jane follows the device to the building with the floating truck and a portal, which leads her to the dark elves of red goo and awakes him.
That reminds you of Stranger Things at one point.
I never thought of it, but I can see why.
She's totally like Will.
Oh yeah, she shaved her head too, like in the Black Swan movie or whatever, or not Black Swan, that one with the weird mask, V for Vendetta.
Oh,
She would look just
She's
like
not
Will.
11. She's not that cool.
Well, no, but if she did it, she would look a little like Will. Yeah, a lot of my notes in this movie, but I just want to point
I guess
out,
Loki
are a
would be
lot
a
of
lot.
just like plot points.
That's fine.
Where is that? Oh yeah, Jane and the thingy. It was really funny when Thor takes Jane to Asgard, and then Kat Dennings goes, "Holy shit!"
Oh, I remember her saying
when they
that.
zoom up. I was like, "Oh, that's pretty funny." That was one of her like funny lines.
I was surprised they said shit in the movie, to be honest.
They almost say it again later or something like that happens. I don't remember exactly what the scene was, but it's like holy, and then they cut the singing.
Oh, really?
So there must have been like a running
I
thing
didn't
they
catch
wanted.
that one.
But I was really surprised with that. I was like, oh, that's pretty funny. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I laughed at that, too.
The dark elf sends a guy who sneaks into the dark elf sends a guy who sneaks into the Asgard dungeon, frees and kills a lot of people, and then kind of gives Loki the stink eye and walks out of there.
And then Loki helps him get out.
Yeah, but you think about it, Loki killed his mom because he was like, "You might want to take the stairs on the left," and then the guy's like, "Okay, I'll find your mom and fucking murder her."
But you know how you said that she takes Thor's side? I mean, Loki's side?
Yeah,
She totally protected
yeah,
Thor's girlfriend.
but only because she had the red goo in her, and that would have destroyed the Nine Realms.
No, it's because she's Thor's girlfriend.
I think it's for the greater good.
I still, at the whole movie, I kept thinking Thor would kick Anakin's ass.
What if it was Thor versus Darth Vader?
And if they fought, where the fuck were they in episode 2? When they fucking went off and fucking canoodled the
and
whole
Anakin's
fucking...
like, I don't like sand.
Yeah.
They were at her home place.
Naboo?
No, hers, not him.
He's not from Naboo.
Oh, he's from Tatooine. Maybe they're at Naboo. I don't know.
Anyway, because Thor's home kind of reminds you of that.
Yeah, the visual effects and like the sound effects in this movie and like even a lot of the action
And
scenes
they got
totally
the same,
reminds me of the
They kind of have
prequels.
the same haircut in this movie, so I
Mhm.
was just like, oh yeah, Thor would kick his ass.
Yeah, because he's got that little like
He'd
one
cry.
braided thing.
Yeah,
Yeah. Although Anakin might get mad and like kill a child or something.
hopefully that'd be cool.
You know, I really like. Can you imagine if in episode 3 they would have just showed Anakin killing all those kids? That would have been awesome.
Yeah,
Like imagine that scene from Rogue One but with children.
they're like little
That
fucking
would've-
8-year-olds.
That would have
flying
made the prequels like the best series ever. It leads to Anakin just murdering children like that.
around. Yeah, that would have been cool. Maybe
But
they'll
no-
do like a side movie on just him fucking killing children.
Oh, that'd be awesome. Darth Vader versus children. Oh, you know what? That totally just reminded me. This is totally like a sidetrack thing. You remember that Kinect Star Wars game?
Oh, the one we borrowed from Jackson?
Yeah, I don't think we ever give it back either.
Oh, fuck him.
But you know they had that one song that they remixed into the one that he's like, I'm Han Solo, Solo. You know that song in it? The real song's I'm Riding Solo,
Oh,
but they turned it into I'm Han Solo.
God, no.
In the
I
game,
do. I do
Someone
not.
remade the trailer, but to that song.
Oh, my God.
And it's the funniest thing ever.
Really?
Yeah. I'll
That's
show it to you after this. It's so funny. I watched it today. So then after that, Idris Elba actually gets a pretty cool scene. He sees the invisible ship come and jumps up, stabs it, and then he kind of disappears for a while. And then Thor's mom gets stabbed in the back.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Thor throws his hammer at the dude and runs
Fucks
over.
up
and
his face.
Yeah, he turns him into Two-Face.
Yeah, a little bit.
That's pretty cool. He's like charges the lightning and just hits him.
Yeah. It,
Which I mean, for as cool as they made the Dark Elf look at that, didn't really seem to affect much.
no.
Like
Yeah.
all that lightning and nothing.
You would think if
But
it
then making
burns half your face.
But then making a ship fall on him and all that kills him or whatever and sends him to another place and I'm done. Put a giant bolt of lightning hitting your face and burning you all up, nothing.
Well, like when he hitting him later, it felt like it was making him stronger too.
Yeah. I don't know.
Maybe he had
I feel like
Black
it was-
Panther suit on.
I think that's part of the thing I like about this movie too is the villain was just like, eh. And I even liked the actor, and it was stupid.
Who was the actor?
You don't. It was a guy from it's the doctor, the guy from Leftovers.
Really?
Yeah, you didn't recognize him?
Not one bit.
Wow, what a fan you are.
I'm not.
I know. We got our 8th Stan Lee cameo.
Spikes can stabilize the focal point of the convergence. This time, the alignment and all the other worlds will just pass us by. It's beautiful. It's simple. Any questions?
Yeah, can I have my shoe back?
Oh, that's his shoe that Thor saw, and whatever the fuck they were.
Yeah, you excited? Were you excited about that? You're like, oh fuck yeah, Stan Lee.
No, I was like, oh, wow. Actually, I think it was kind of.
Do you think you're the world's least favorite Stan Lee fan?
Probably.
But yeah, so he's
I don't even like him in Mallrats.
he's at an insane asylum. Oh, that's what we'll watch all the Kevin Smith movies next. We're like, oh, Stan Lee cameo.
You're stupid.
Where's Thor makes a team and takes Jane to the other realms, and then we get a cool, quick Captain America cameo.
Which was pretty funny.
Yeah, I really liked that. I kind of told you about that last week
Yeah.
that was gonna happen.
I liked how didn't he like almost start singing the Star Spangled Banner or something? Like he was like, "Yeah, I'm fully and go America, God bless America."
I think
It's
so,
like,
yeah.
It's pretty funny.
That was it was like I can imagine like for the first time watching that'd be so unexpected.
Yeah.
Like especially in Asgard and all that. Other than that, I was kind of waiting. Like I thought Black Widow. I could have sworn she showed up in this movie. I was waiting for like another Avenger cameo or something, and nothing seemed to
and they
happen.
pretty much, except for Avengers, they keep Thor by himself.
Yeah, other than the third one, he gets
Yeah.
Hulk.
I mean, unless
But,
you
like,
count Loki.
Yeah. No, because Loki's like the original cast of Thor.
Yeah, no,
That
I
doesn't
know.
make out.
Yeah.
And then my next note is I almost fell for Thor and Loki's trick on the Dark Elf, which I told you that earlier too.
Yeah, like I knew his arm wasn't cut off, but I
Like,
didn't remember where it went.
When he first stabbed him, I was like, "Oh, that motherfucker!" And then he throws Thor, and I was like, "Oh wait, this is his trick." I forgot they did that.
Yeah, Loki should just rule the galaxy, because he could just trick. He could just be anybody.
He totally could, but I feel like because he has that little tiny ounce of good in him that Thor always reaches out to and whatever,
yeah,
that's what stops him from doing it. He needs to go full Anakin and murder some kids, and then become Darth Vader and rule the galaxy.
it's all about killing the kids.
Yep, that's what I want. And then Loki's dead,
Is Loki?
or Loki's dead.
Yeah, he seemed pretty dead, by the way. Is that another trick?
Yeah, it was a trick. He turned into Odin. Remember?
No, I know. At the end, he's still alive, but so he tricked him when he fucking got stabbed.
Yeah, I don't.
I mean, they didn't explain. That
I
very
wish
well.
they explained it more.
Yeah,
But it was all for the reveal at the end. But like sometimes the reveal needs to be explained a little.
for it to make sense. Like,
Yeah.
I was like, oh, okay, cool. I didn't want Loki to die, anyways.
Yeah, I mean, I guess there's probably a deleted scene where he's like, "I'm over here."
We should have
Thor."
ranked the bad guys.
Oh yeah, maybe next week we'll have it like written down and we'll rank them.
We have to go back through. I don't remember.
Can go back in time. I think Michael B. Jordan's probably my favorite villain of the movies so far that we've watched. Because I don't have
Oh,
much memory of him,
yeah.
but like he's
Well,
the best.
Loki's the bad guy, like in 3 of them.
Yeah, so that's kind of hard to choose for
Fuck's
that.
sake.
So Thor and Jane find the portal to Earth. We discussed that. That was a funny scene. And then Thor beats Malekith and then goes home and decides not to be king. Which I kind of forgot that he was like, no, I can't be king. I'll protect Asgard, but not as the king.
Yeah, it made sense though,
Yeah, I just kind of forgot. Like I assumed.
because when his mom got killed,
Mm-hmm.
and then and Odin's like, yeah, we're gonna go murder everybody.
I
and
guess it
we're-
would have fucked up Loki's reveal too if he's like, okay, get off the throne, Dad.
That's funny. Yeah. But yeah, so he was like, his dad wanted to fight, and Thor wanted to go try to save, wanted to go get the bad guy. He
Mhm.
wanted to wait for him to come and fight him and sacrifice all the soldiers. So, like, I think that's when he realizes that he doesn't want to be king because he doesn't want
And-
to sacrifice other people.
Speaking of like Loki being Odin and all that, if
Mm-hmm.
you remember in Doctor Strange, Thor comes up and he's like, "Oh, me and my brother were looking for my dad. He's here on Earth." I believe there's a scene in Thor Ragnarok where Odin is like a homeless man in New York. So I think Loki sent him to Earth and like did shit to him.
Oh,
so
really?
we'll probably get the reveal that later because in the trailer you see him for like a split second as like a homeless guy it looks like. But
Ah.
I kind of forgot that Thor shows up in Doctor Strange and says that.
When he's drinking the beers at the end?
Yeah. So I don't. like
I don't remember.
we've mentioned this a ton of times, but like we don't know because Thor Ragnarok. So I don't know if I've never heard of Doctor Strange being in the movie, so I don't know. But I kind of completely forgot that was gonna happen until we got that reveal, and I was like, oh yeah,
It'll be interesting when we watch it.
yeah. So then after that, we get the reveal that Loki has been Odin this whole time, and then we get the end credit scene, which I was pleasantly surprised with, that it was for Guardians of the Galaxy.
But was it?
I mean, yeah, because he was setting up the Collector and all that.
Yeah, I know. Like I remember thinking, I was like, oh, it's the Collector, and then they give him the thing, and he's 1 of 5 or whatever he says.
Yeah.
Which is he collecting for
He
Thanos?
yeah, I think everybody is really at this point.
Thanos is like Don Thanos. He's like the
Yeah, he sends down his other little people and they get him some
Yeah.
stones. He's like some snatch right out of the stones.
Where is the stone?
that could have been the funniest thing you've ever said.
That's Thanos.
No, that's fucking Benicio del Toro.
Well, I guess, yeah.
Wow.
And then we get a really stupid.
Wait, I'm not done.
Okay.
So I'm watching it, and I'm thinking, oh, okay, Guardians, and you told me, because you can't not tell me stuff. So then, but then I'm thinking to myself, well, the first time I watched this, I had no idea what any of this shit was.
Yeah.
That little girl that blows up shit in Guardians.
What was that again?
That's how she walked. It was fucking annoying.
But then so then the next end credit scene is Thor and Jane kiss, which when they're actually kissing is Thor's real wife, not Natalie Portman, because she wasn't there.
I forgot you told me that. That was stupid too.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, the point of it was like, oh, he came back for her, but who gives a shit?
Side note, your mother got her car washed today?
I don't know where this could place in.
Well, she just texted me because it popped up. And when she told me, I hope it fucking rains today, because she's crazy about washing her car.
Yeah, every Thursday or every other day, she's like, oh, gotta wash my car.
Gotta wash the car. It's raining.
Man.
Hallelujah.
That is kind of funny, especially at her work too, because where she's parked, unless it's like under the garage, it'll like sprinkle shit on her car and all that.
Yeah, so it's dirty.
But then we get a semi kind of funny, cool thing with the end credit scene is the ice beast giant is chasing birds, which I forgot to mention back, but it came back and because they portaled there and came back and all that.
Side movie about what happened to that thing.
Like a little Pixar one, like how they have the little short movies in front of the Pixar movies.
Yeah,
that'd be kind of funny. What I was thinking is, because they have those Marvel one-shots, I don't know if they still do those. I think they do. But like we watched the one that came to DVD, it was about the Mandarin. It'd be kind of cool before the movies they played a little video like that, like a 15-minute video or whatever.
Yeah, but fuck, they already played 400 trailers.
Well, instead of some trailers, like take out all the Marvel movies that you know the audience is already going to go see.
Right.
And play that.
That little beast thing kind of reminded me of Star Wars too.
Yeah, like the one that what's her face
Attack of the
Ratchet.
Clones,
Yeah, she gets scratched. She's like, ah.
Probably the same one. It's probably just following her from movie to movie.
Probably, yeah, and then just grew a little bit of blue hair.
Yeah,
maybe.
Was it blue?
I forgot you're colorblind. God damn you. Yeah, that's all my notes. So that's basically everything we got on Thor The Dark World. We're gonna watch the trailer for Captain America if you're ready.
No, I'm not ready. So what was your favorite scene?
It was with Thor and Loki. I mean, I kind of have like I liked when they were at the other place and they fooled the Dark Elf. I really liked that scene. That's probably my favorite. But my second favorite is when they're escaping Asgard. That little whole part and they're hitting the buttons and he's like, "Don't hit it so hard." Like they were arguing. It reminded me a lot of like Obi-Wan and Anakin.
See, my favorite was the end fight scene when they were like punching people and then showing up on a different Earth and then going through portals. And I thought that was cool.
I liked that.
That kind of won me over.
I liked like seeing Loki trick and fight the guys and like Thor over in the corner fight the big dude and all that back and forth. And plus they had a whole thing planned out. Like I thought that was really neat.
Right.
Yeah, I think that's my favorite scene.
Yeah, mine's definitely at the end when Loki's dead.
Like right when the credits hit and you're like, oh, thank God, I don't gotta watch this movie.
No,
anymore.
see, I got done and I was like, yeah, I didn't mind it. It was actually pretty good.
Well,
so I'll probably love 3.
You got your wish because we finally have different opinions on these goddamn movies.
Yeah, I know.
Past couple weeks we've been like, I liked Iron Man 3 more than you liked Iron Man 3.
I bet you if we saw Black Panther again, it would go up.
Yeah, it'd probably be my number one if we watched it again, or maybe even right under Avengers. I know when we get to Civil War that's gonna be in my top.
I bet you we're gonna watch it in a second.
This will go on top too, probably. Yeah. And I feel like Spider-Man: Homecoming is gonna be way up there too, because I really like that. Yeah, Guardians. See, it'll be really hard to, because, like, I love a lot of these movies.
Yeah.
It'll be, eventually, we're going to have, like, double fucking rows of this shit.
Right.
But all right, so let me get the trailer ready. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to hit play for the trailer right now. It'll play in a second now.
Sure will.
Most of the intelligence community doesn't believe he exists. The ones that do call him the Winter Soldier.
Well, that really tells you who he is right there, doesn't it?
You'll never
Like, I remember the movie it being a reveal, but on that table, you're like, oh, that's Bucky. Like, didn't it look just like him?
Yeah, but it's because we know.
I guess. But I don't know, I feel like those people that watch the trailer see, like, fucking scene by scene should have saw that.
To build a better world,
Although they probably already knew from the
I
comics and
forgot
shit.
Robert Redford's in this.
that makes enemies.
That is one of my favorite scenes ever in Marvel. With Samuel Jackson and all that. That's a really cool scene.
He's fast. Strong.
They don't show Falcon?
I don't think they do in the trailer. I think that's like a... Maybe he's like in it for like a split second.
All it takes is one step. People are gonna die.
That's a cool scene too, though, when they're fighting on like the underpass.
Yeah.
Captain.
I remember, and I felt so stupid after this. Watching the movie for like a split second, I thought it was... Oh, see, there he is. I thought it was Robin who was the Winter Soldier, because like the hair and
Yeah,
shit.
you're talking from How I Met Your Mother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because she's in this, you know, wearing a shield and Samuel Jackson and all that. And I was like, that'd be crazy and kind of stupid. And then, like, literally the next scene they reveal it, and I was like, oh, it's Bucky. I should have saw that
I
coming.
think I remember you whispering once.
Yeah, and I was like, I should have really saw that coming.
This is how it ends. Everything goes.
We're starting to get to them now, like, where I remember seeing them in theaters.
Looks like you're giving the orders now, Captain.
Yeah.
You're right.
So in this trailer, like, there's so many scenes in the movie that are great. It'll be kind of hard to choose a favorite. Captain America, the Winter Soldier.
See,
How do we know the good guys from the bad guys? If they're shooting at you, they're bad.
You know what's funny about that part? I'll tell you in a second when the trailer's done. So me and Brian used to play in this website called IJJI, and we'd play this game called Soldier Front. And it was like back like before I played Call of Duty and shit.
mm-hmm.
And I was real bad. And I was like, okay, this is gonna sound real stupid, Brian, but like, how do I know the difference between like our teammates and the enemies? And he said exact same. He's like, if they're shooting at you, they're an enemy. And he also like if they're red. But every time I hear that line, I always think of that game because Brian's like, how do you fucking not know that?
You know when I think of Brian every time?
What?
When someone says, "Are you kidding me?"
Yeah, I think I do. No, I'm Brian.
Play Call of Duty. Every time someone would die, "Oh, are you kidding me?" No, I'm Brian.
You know what makes me think of like playing Xbox 2?
Mm.
When someone goes, Jerome.
Oh, God.
Because for those, obviously, people don't know this. I had a friend named CJ that we'd play Xbox with, and every time we play, he could Jerome.
We'd have like 6 people playing.
Yeah.
Drum. Drum. And you'd be like, what, CJ?
I'd be like, CJ. Like, we'd all say it back to him like that, because like, we'd be talking normal, and it'd be like he's eating his mic. Jerome. And we're like, what the fuck do you want? And I'd be
It's
like,
hard to have a conversation with one person when you're on the line with 6.
yeah, and then it'd always be like, invite me to your game.
Yeah. I need one more kill for a nuke.
Yeah, or like something like that, or like, I'm getting up Xbox right now. And you'd be like, who the fuck cares?
Can you just tell everybody? You fucking
Yeah.
weirdo.
But all right. So, anything else you want to say on the Pleeka podcast?
No, but I can't wait to go watch Winter Soldier.
Yeah, I kind of want to watch it like right away, even though we'll have a week to do the podcast.
Yeah.
But that is one of the best movies that they've made. I believe. I'm not positive. I'm pretty sure that
No,
it's from the same
I
dudes
like
that did.
Captain America a lot, but is it fair that he gets Nick Fury, Black Widow, Winter Soldier, Falcon, and Robert Redford in his movie, and then Thor just gets Loki?
Well, and he has Anthony Hopkins.
Yeah, but he's not doing that. He's just
Well, how do you? Maybe when
he's being Popeye.
Thor is off on Earth, he bends over his wife and
She's dead.
he takes her corpse, her burning corpse.
the fuck is wrong with you?
But all right, so thanks for watching the Pleeka podcast, everybody. We'll be back next Monday for another episode where we watch Marvel's Captain America: The Winter Soldier. You can suck a fucking dick, pirate man. Also, go check out our Patreon.
Yeah.
Or Nick's gonna find you and stick his finger in your ass.
There is the stone.